Hello everyone, this is Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here with another Be Inspired and Use It Up. Those are the two pieces of pattern paper that I was really inspired to use. I then went into my stash and pulled some other papers that I wanted to bring into this layout as well. So it's kind of be inspired by pattern paper and use up more than just, two sheets, which is what I normally do here. So I am playing around with my photos. I have these three, which were just a normal lazy Sunday that I'm thinking about. I kind of liked the way that that fell into place, and I have to cover up that imperfection from that piece of pattern paper right there. So I am trying to think of how to do that. And then I had these two photos too of Jackson and Sean just kind of playing. And originally, those two black and white photos were what I was going to go with. But I really liked the way that these three went when they fell into place and how it covered that sheet up and would work really well. So I'm just going to back two of them because one of them already has a border. And I have this really pretty pattern paper that is multiple colored and it kind of brings in all the other colors I'd like to use for this layout. And I really love this. It's from a paper pad. And I'm really sorry, I can't even think of what it's from, but I like it. It's got a lot of lighter colors, which I think would work off well because that piece of plaid is a little bit, it's dark, but it's on the lighter, darker side, if that makes any sense. So I want to try and keep this layout as light as possible. And the photos are a little dark too, so I figured bordering them would help a little there. There is another imperfection on this piece of pattern paper because it is just a scrap, and that is from an Amy Tangerine collection. If I flipped it over, you would see that really pretty watercolored floral that was really popular when that collection was out, and I'm not exactly sure where the plaid came from. That star paper is from the Crate Paper Little You collection, and then that chevron paper hiding in the back is I think it's Ahoy there, and I believe that could be Carta Bella. I believe that's a Carta Bella piece of pattern paper. So I've gotten my photos backed. This is kind of basically the composition that it's going to be. I wasn't planning on using a lot of this pattern paper. I just wanted to bring in the blue other than just being in the middle. And so I cut a strip. Really like the way that looks, but it is kind of missing something. So I cut the strip, place it down, and then you're going to see my fingers tap. I'm kind of just thinking on what else I could do with this layout. So you can see my fingers tap. I come back, I took a little break to think about it. Come back, I'm going to move that strip down to the bottom and cut another one. This one is on a diagonal, and I really like the way that looks. It kind of helps bring your eye back into the photos. You also can see that I painted some of my letters. So what I did is I just took some white acrylic paint and painted over two of them and then left the other ones because I like the colors they matched. And you'll see how I deal with that in the end. It was kind of fun. This is what I do with my letters. If they're not the color I want them to be, I just use white acrylic paint to make them how I would like them to look. And then I will paint over them to a new color if I want, or I'll just leave them white. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I also have these banner pieces that I'm thinking about playing with, and I'm not exactly sure where I want them to go, but I do love banners, so I'm determined to get them put onto to this layout here. Other than that, though, I really am not sure what else I'm going to do. And honestly, this layout kind of becomes really simple, and the fact that I just add little small pieces here and there, but yeah, it's still 10 minutes, so my filming was a little bit longer than normal. I think I left in a little bit more of my process than I normally do. So you can see that I've got typical and morning down for my title. And what I'm going to do is grab my shimmers, and this is the um, Coral Me Crazy. And I'm just going to take a paintbrush here and paint over the white acrylic paint with this pink. And what it does is because it's on the more corally color, it brings out the color of my shirt that I'm wearing. And I really love the way that it turns out. So really simple. I mean, everyone can paint over letters. It's pretty easy. These ones are from the Pink Fresh Studios, and they are I didn't get the collection from Hip Kip, which are the awesome teal colors. So these are the red ones, and it was that Christmas line. And so I don't use red a lot. I think you guys all know my loathe of red. So I just kind of found a way to use them. I love the font. It was just the color. So just by painting them, it turned them into a color that instead I really wanted to use here. So I'm going to let that dry, come back, and now you get to see all my finishing touches here. So I'm going to put down the word Sunday. So that's my title right there, is Typical Sunday Morning. And then my journaling, which I did off camera, just talks about how we do get busy on Sundays and we all kind of go off and do our own thing. Jackson goes and plays, and Sean sits on the couch and watches football, and I'll scrap and all of those things that happen later on within the day. But in the morning, the first couple hours tends to be, I normally get up first and get a few moments to myself, but then Jackson will wake up, or Sean will get up, surprise me, and wake up even earlier, and we'll just hang out on the couch together, and that's when Jackson's in his most cuddly mood. So he'll come and cuddle with me, or he'll play like that. The one photo is I was folding laundry, trying to get that all done before he woke up, and he happened to wake up. So he was playing right next to the laundry, and he's trying to learn to do a somersault still. He hasn't quite figured out how to get his body flipped over, and that's what it's showing. It's just kind of funny. So I just was documenting how this is what Sunday mornings are like, because they probably won't always be like this. I'm sure he'll get into sports and whatnot. He'll not want to hang out with mommy and daddy. The new baby's coming, so maybe he'll want to just go hide and be on his own. I have no idea. Who knows? But this is what it's like right now, and I just kind of wanted to document that. So you can see I'm adding a few little bits and pieces here. I added that huge pink ampersand just because I liked the color and I wanted a little more splash of pink on this layout. And then I went and grabbed those white puffy stickers. Those plus signs are so hard. I love plus signs, and someone like Hannah who can just use them and make them look amazing, I can't do that. So I was determined to get them used up on this layout, and I did. I put all of them on. In the end, I think I take off one, but I do happen to get all of them on. And then I just am trying to add a few more extra pieces here. I add that heart, which I think I'm going to leave until I go back and look at it, and because there's red on it, it just is completely clashing. So that will go off. And what else do I do here? I'm not sure. You did see me while I was gabbing away. I did move the frame that I had picked. It was originally over Jackson, and I moved it to be over Jackson and Sean instead. There was just something about it being over there. I just liked it a lot better. And then I backed the photo of Jackson with this little piece of white. It's not tissue paper this time, believe it or not. It is a piece of just a paper bag that I get when I get prescriptions at our local drugstore. So that's what that's from. And then I'm going to add one of these stickers that say date, so I'll be able to put the date right there. And I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape. So I don't ever get to use washi tape, but I thought I would just do that tearing technique that I see Missy do all the time and just add a few pieces here and there. And that's going to kind of just go down at the bottom in that little cluster. I was originally planning on putting my journaling like in a line right underneath the plaid paper and close to that cluster I'm working on right now. But instead I end up putting it right in between where that gap is between the three photos. That's where my journaling goes. I'm not exactly sure that I love that I did that, but it's there and I did it in black pen and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to just let it be, but it's one of those things where I do like this layout, but it's definitely not my favorite. Like, I don't think it's absolutely stellar or anything, but I was able to get those pieces of pattern papers used up, and I do like it, and I love the story, so I think those kind of factors alone kind of just work, and this isn't one I'll re-scrap. I like it enough to leave it, and I think you know me by now. If I don't like my layouts, I will re-scrap them. I don't have a problem with it. I try really hard to salvage everything, that I can to redo them, but I will redo them. So my final pieces here are I'm going to just take a couple of these stickers. These are from, I believe, Simple Stories. I add the one with the little arrow. I love that. There, it's going to go there. And then one that says, there's a heart and then it says this, and that's just going to go up by Sean's head. And I believe that is about to wrap up my layout. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I should be back this week with, I think I've got 3 videos coming out. So stay tuned, and I hope everyone's having a great start to their week. Bye, everyone.